Live from WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Monday, May 20th, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugart. Tonight, it's the brainchild of Tampa Rays manager and Hazleton native Joe Maddon. Our Gary Perna gives us a sneak peek inside the soon-to-be-open Hazleton One Community Center. Plus a new book that will take you on a trip back in time, and it comes just in time for that community celebration. In sports, district playoffs have started for District 2. Beth Mensinger has highlights and scores. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek has a long-awaited warm-up in the forecast. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. Today marks the start of National EMS Week. Late edition's Ann Gownley talked with local emergency responders today about the significance of the week and what they're doing to increase awareness.
They are the men and women who respond to emergencies to help save your life or your families. And all this week, they are being honored. Across the country, it is National EMS Week. We stopped by APTS in Hazleton, where employees we spoke with say this week is very special to them and their families.
It's an important week for the emergency responders, not only for everyone here at APTS, but all the volunteers throughout the region that we deal with, and all the work that they do, all the sacrifices that they give, not only when they come in to punch in and work long hours here, but leaving their families when they're going out on volunteer calls. It's a big week just to recognize them and say thank you back.
The nice thing with this week is, for years, I've been doing this for 28 years, and EMS used to kind of not be recognized until somebody calls for an ambulance and they say, well, what took you so long to get here? And it would only take a minute or two to get there. So it's nice that we're getting some recognition for the hard work and the training hours that people don't see. It's just nice to get recognized for what we do.
On Thursday, employees will be treated to a luncheon where all week they can win prizes. Gant says they try to give back to their employees as much as they can for all they give to the greater Hazleton area and the surrounding communities.
If you see somebody throughout the week that's in an ambulance, just say, hey, thank you for what you do, because it really means a lot to them when someone thanks them.
Tomorrow, APTS will celebrate EMS Week with the community in a free event at the Laurel Mall in the old FYE store near JCPenney's from 9 until noon. The event is called Lend a Hand, Save a Life. It is made possible through the Department of Health, the American Heart Association, and the Heart Rescue Project. Gantz and Boyle hope to reach out to as many people as they can.
The idea is to teach people that they can actually help someone with just doing hands-only CPR, not having to worry about breaths. And it works the best if it's a witnessed sudden cardiac arrest, obviously. But at least they're giving care immediately until EMS can get there and take over the care from there.
Being able to do the compressions and getting the blood to circulate, that also will help enhance what the AED can do, because the AED only corrects any electrical activity that's improper in the heart. It doesn't do anything with circulating, where the hands-only CPR will at least get that blood that does have oxygen in circulating until an EMS unit can arrive.
You will not be certified in CPR after this event, but will be filled in on lots of information on how to help someone who is in cardiac arrest. Gantz and Boyle tell us that if your business is interested in bringing the program to your office, you can give them a call at APTS at 459-6622. In Hazleton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thanks, Ann. A multi-car accident tonight in Hazleton left behind a trail of damage. It happened just before 8:30 this evening. According to city police, a 2001 Isuzu Rodeo was traveling west on Diamond Avenue, just west of Locust Street, when it collided with the rear of a 2011 Chevy Camaro. Now, following impact, the Camaro then collided with the rear of a 2005 Chevy Trailblazer, which in turn collided with a 2005 Acura. The Isuzu then backed up, colliding with a fifth vehicle, a 2010 Nissan Altima. All four cars that were involved in that chain reaction were parked on the north side of Diamond Avenue. The Isuzu and the Camaro had to be towed. The Hazleton Fire Department responded due to one of the cars leaking fluids. Now, the driver of the Isuzu was a 16-year-old female from Hazleton who will be charged with accident involving damage to unattended vehicles or property, careless driving, and drivers required to be licensed. Tomorrow is primary election day. There are a list of races, but an even longer list of uncontested races. The highest profile races in the WYLN viewing area are the two for the nominations for Luzerne County Controller. On the Republican side, incumbent Walter Griffith, who was charged last week with illegally recording 2 conversations and an executive session of the Retirement Board, is facing Karen Sepaherko. On the Democratic side, longtime Republican Steve Urban is facing Cunningham Township tax collector Michelle Bednar. There are also races for Luzerne County Council, Hazleton City Council, Freeland, Pottsville, Bloomsburg, and Berwick Mayor, McAdoo and Cunningham Borough Council, Hazel and Sugarloaf Township Supervisors, and several others. And there are several school board races, with the Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre area school districts being the highest profile. Well, primary elections often highlight the importance of write-in votes. There are at least 2 write-in candidates organizing campaign efforts. Longtime Hazleton resident Antonio Rodriguez is running for a Republican nomination to Hazleton City Council. While there are 3 open nominations, only 2 names are on the ballot: incumbent Jim Perry and Jeff Cassatt. Rodriguez is trying to win the 3rd nomination. And in West Hazleton, Crime Watch leader and former borough councilman Dave Minnick is running a write-in campaign to win the Democratic nomination for mayor. Incumbent Republican Mayor Frank Schmidt is on the Republican side. Pennsylvania's enacted then challenged voter ID law is still in limbo. Now, because of that, poll workers will ask you tomorrow to show ID when you go to the polls. However, if you don't want to, you will not be prevented from voting. An explosion and flash fire in a Lansford house led to the discovery of a meth lab. It happened around 10 o'clock last night in the 100 block of East Patterson Street. The occupants of the home initially told police someone threw a Molotov cocktail at the house, but police said it was clear someone in the house was making methamphetamine, which caused the explosion. No one was hurt. 3 children were in the house, ages 6, 7, and 8. Police have charged 19-year-old Kyle France, 44-year-old Scott France, and 37-year-old Jackie Slavin, all charged with hindering apprehension. Kyle France and Scott France also have been charged with tampering with or fabricating evidence. All 3 are in the Carbon County Prison under $20,000 bail each. Police in Hanover Township are investigating a robbery at the Sexy Styling Salon at 51 Lee Park Avenue just after 5 o'clock Sunday evening. Owner Angelo Hardy said he was eating noodles and watching TV when he heard a knock at the door. 2 customers entered and demanded Hardy open the safe. They hit him and tried to take the safe off the floor. The men were wearing hoods and Hardy could not tell if they were armed. He grabbed a pair of scissors and shattered the glass of the front window to scare them away. Hardy's cell phone and safe with an undisclosed amount of cash were stolen. Anyone with information is asked to call Hanover Police at 825-1254. A crash involving 2 SUVs this morning on Route 309 in Klein Township. A red SUV and silver Jeep collided at the intersection of 309 and Lofty Road. Both drivers, a male and female, were transported to Hazleton General Hospital for their injuries. Both vehicles had to be towed from the scene. Route 309 was down to 1 lane in both directions because of that crash. The southern Midwest has been hammered by tornadoes the last 36 hours. INN's Mike Mickle has more.
At least 2 people are dead and a dozen more are hurt after tornadoes ripped through Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Illinois, and Missouri. Storm chasers captured this monster tornado near Roselle, Kansas. The severe storms tossed semis like tin cans and turned homes inside out.
Brett, get back here. We gotta go soon.
One after another, the twisters touched down, churning debris as they went. The National Weather Service says there were more than 24 tornado reports from Oklahoma to Iowa. Oklahoma and Kansas were hit the hardest. A chopper pilot describes what he saw as he flew over the path of the storm.
Everything was just it was just gone. I mean, you see like beds in the yard. Like you took the house, you put it in a gigantic blender, you turned it on pulse for a couple minutes, and then you just dumped it out.
Oklahoma's governor declared a state of emergency for 16 counties in her state. Authorities say now they are searching for those hurt.
Right now, our crews are out doing an initial damage assessment, trying to see if anybody's out hurt. what kind of structures we have damaged.
So if you haven't taken precautions up until this point.
In Kansas, the storm brought hail, high winds, and tornadoes. This man says many homes in his neighborhood were hit, but he's come to expect this.
I know my neighbor sustained a lot worse than I did, and my other neighbor over there, it looks like she's in worse shape. I haven't been over there yet. But, you know, when you live in Kansas, that's just one of those things that's going to happen.
That was INN News. A 2003 International box truck blew a fuel line and became disabled at the intersection of Diamond Avenue and Broad Streets in Hazleton. This was the scene around 12:45 this afternoon. As Hazleton police and fire were called to the scene, the truck was towed to a local mechanic shop. The fluids were quickly cleaned up and traffic resumed as usual. PennDOT announced today a brand new initiative that will put important information for drivers literally at their fingertips. PennDOT's new YouTube channel will expand public outreach on safety and education initiatives as well as department operations. So far, the new YouTube channel includes time-lapse video from the May 9th tanker accident at the I-81 and US 22-322 interchange, educational and safety videos, along with features on PennDOT operations and initiatives. Now, PennDOT plans to add videos featuring department maintenance operations as well as highway safety efforts in the future. The new PennDOT YouTube channel can be found at youtube.com/PennsylvaniaDOT. An important reminder for motorists tonight. PennDOT reports there will be a single-lane closure on Interstate 81 North and South. It began at 8 o'clock tonight and will be in effect until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That closure is between exit 170B, the Wilkes-Barre exit, and exit 178, the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Airport exit. Delays should be minimal. And Ray Manzarek of The Doors has died. He's had a long fight with bile duct cancer. Manzarek was The Doors keyboardist and in the years following Jim Morrison's death, the chief spokesman for the band's history. In fact, after Morrison's 1971 death, Manzarek tried to carry on and become lead singer, but after one album, Other Voices, The Doors were finished. Manzarek also discovered and produced the influential Los Angeles band X. He died in Germany this morning. Ray Manzarek was 74 years old. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now for our first look at the forecast. Meteorologist Joe Garbacik's in the Weather Center. And Joe, any chance we're going to be hearing those initials, you know, their words hazy, hot, and humid, the 3 H's?
Well, I don't think we can get rid of it heading into tomorrow because it's going to feel definitely summer-like. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the 80s. But then we're going to be looking at some cooler temperatures later on in the week. We'll talk what we can expect tomorrow and the rest of the week coming up next.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Vote for my mom, Michelle Benner, for county controller, or you chose the wrong choice.
Michelle Bednar is uniquely qualified for the job of Luzerne County Controller with 25 years of accounting experience and years of public service as a tax collector. Michelle favors an honest, transparent, and efficient form of government. And she's a dedicated wife and mom. Just ask her son, Kyler.
I'm Kyler Bednar, and I approve this message.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, it's time to get grilling with their now famous 25% off all-fresh ground beef sale. Taste the difference.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Ting is going to explain to us what carpal tunnel syndrome is, and surprisingly, you may not need surgery to cure it. His solutions, they're coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
Pretty nice day across our area, northeastern Pennsylvania, that is. We saw sunshine mixed with some clouds, a relatively mild day across all of our viewing area, and tomorrow it's going to be a couple of degrees warmer than what we saw today. In fact, widespread 80s, definitely not out of the question. In fact, will be happening as we go into tomorrow. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, again, some ground clutter off of the radar site, but that's it. There is nothing showing up. That is not rain whatsoever. And I think going through the overnight hours, not going to be looking too bad across our region. 65 our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Pressure coming in at 29.96 inches of mercury. There could be some areas of fog out there through the overnight hours, so be careful of that if you encounter any of that in any particular location. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 76 and 54. The split in temperatures, that's above the average high and low of 71 and 49, 91 and 33, record high and low still stand, 541, 820, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So we woke up this morning on a relatively mild note. We only got down into the 50s to lower 60s, and daytime highs today generally in the upper 70s, with some locations managing to make it in the lower 80s. Temperatures across our area right now: 71 Jim Thorpe, 70 in Berwick, 68 Monomoy City, 70 in Bloomsburg, 69 degrees in Danville. Satellite and radar. Any precipitation today was generally down toward south central Pennsylvania, right in through here. The rest of the state really very quiet, nothing showing up. Again, those last couple of frames, that's just ground clutter from the radar site. And if you notice out toward the north and west, there was actually some severe thunderstorm watches that were in effect, some cells coming through those areas. But for us, again, not much happening. And we should be fairly quiet through the overnight hours. Now for Election Day tomorrow, looking like a pretty nice day. Now as we progress through tomorrow, may have to deal with a shower or thunderstorm across our area, even as we start going into tomorrow night. And then as we start going into our Wednesday, again, definitely cannot rule out the threat of a couple of scatters and showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two around Wednesday, even going into Thursday, possibly even into Friday. But again, I'm not expecting any widespread washouts, but keep the umbrella handy to be on the safe side. And tomorrow, again, we get up into the 80s, feeling more summer-like. And then notice by Wednesday at the noontime hour, temperatures already in the 70s, with some locations could be looking at lower 80s already by then. Notice tomorrow, very nice indeed. Feeling summer-like. Enjoy it. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. About lower 80s, about 82 for tomorrow. Some locations could be at about 85-ish or so. So it's going to feel kind of sticky out there, more summer-like, and then we'll be near 80 as we go into Wednesday, and then cooling down into the 70s for Thursday, maybe still a shower around for Friday. Notice how much cooler it'll be. You'll notice it in the air in the 60s, and then staying in the 60s for Sunday and Monday of next week. So that's going to be below average, but it's going to still feel pretty comfortable out there. Our Evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers: a daily 683 to Big 4 9565. Quinto numbers 63114, and the cash 5 1 6 9 13 and 32. Lisa.
Thank you, Joe. Coming up, Gary Perna will take us on a tour of the new Hazleton One Community Center next on Late Edition.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. Welcome to Robert Stevens Face and Body, Hazelton's complete skincare center. Here, our licensed specialists will consult with you to discuss your skincare needs, rejuvenate you with our special facial treatments, and apply gentle, relaxing massages to melt your tension away, using all state-of-the-art technical treatments and superior skin products. So call today and let the transformation begin at Robert Stevens Face and Body, 788-7546.
Cuz it don't look like a restaurant. Missed it time. Dude, it's midnight. 24/7 style. Time to cook up some abs. Oh no, she didn't.
And she had the nerve to speak to me. We're not even friends anymore.
Yes, she. Mac and cheese for me.
Touch the screen. Get the awesome food.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WYLN 35 in Hazelton, the Greater Hazelton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky trays, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
The Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce welcomes all vendors and crafters to participate in the Downtown Hazelton Farmers Market beginning Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 20 West Broad Street. To become a vendor, call 570-455-1509 or email info@hazeltonchamber.org.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Nancy Dawson, a lady who has been on both sides of the chiropractic table as a patient and as a person who worked in a chiropractic office. She'll tell you about her experiences, how she uses chiropractic care to keep her healthy. It's all coming up this week. Join us.
Welcome back to Late Edition, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. I'm standing on the steps of the former MPB school, which will now become the Hazelton 1 Community Center. Today, WYLN got a sneak peek inside the building with 2 of the men who are spearheading the fight to bring this community center to a reality. Bob, talk to us about the new building, well, I shouldn't say new building, the building that was purchased. And what are some of the plans that are going to be put into this building?
Well, as we walk through the building, I think you're going to see why we're so excited, because the building is in wonderful condition, and it's the type of building that matches with our plans perfectly. It's like a perfect overlay. So there are so many different things that we could do. Once, of course, as soon as you start with a project with Joe Madden, you've got to have athletics. And of course, we got this great, big, beautiful gymnasium. It's in really nice shape. And so we have a gym, and some of the things we can do in the gym, besides the obvious, which is basketball for boys and girls, we can also do indoor baseball games. We can do indoor soccer. We had a very generous donation for street hockey sticks, so we're thinking of doing street hockey in the building as well. So it's kind of limitless in terms of athletics, but beyond that, we've got all kinds of other plans. When we talked about assimilating all of our cultures together, that's really what our goal is. All the cultures, particularly with the kids, particularly people who might be economically disadvantaged and unable to take advantage of some of the other things that are out there. We're going to take a look at saying, hey, what can we do with drama and dance and music? And just about anything you could think of. We have a great space for a commercial kitchen. We can teach kids about how to make food, how to prepare food for market as well. And there's plenty of classroom space in the building.
You know, what do you hear, you know, if you walk into this building? What are you imagining, you know, coming from that auditorium, that gymnasium, from the classroom?
Well, obviously, the first and foremost, what we intend to hear is the sound of kids laughing. Because if we don't achieve that, we'll achieve nothing. But we know we can do that. But we also have just a whole mix of cultures. And you know, this latest immigration, the Hispanic immigration into our community, is just the latest in a long line of immigration. That's exactly what it is. And if you think about it, 100 years ago or so, my grandparents came here, and my grandfather never really learned to speak English. His name was Giuseppe Boliano. He didn't have 20 words of English, believe me. And so he, like many other of the immigrants, came here to have a better place for their children, for his children, a better place for him, a better environment, better education system than he had available in Italy. So he came here, he built a life here, and the same thing is happening today. This latest immigration, people are coming here for better lives.
Being the executive director, what do you see? What are you feeling when you come into this building here and see what the is behind it?
Well, what I'm seeing is the great future for our children. It's basically when you have the imagination, how having children laughing, running, and playing together, or nationality. When we have a kid, they don't think just in play and learn. And that gives us a very strong vision how the future will be strong for our community.
With having the classes here, obviously you could be doing multiple things at the same time, whether it be a game going on in the gym, classes going on upstairs. How important, for you do you think it is to have one central location for the greater Hazleton area to grow?
No, that will be what we call the headquarters for Hazleton, because all the people will find here different activity and they can learn different skill. For instance, if parents here just to bring their kid for a class, let's say for a music or art class, their parent will be taking maybe cooking class or taking any type of orientation about parenting or any other skill that will be available at the same time.
You said that the kids could be playing or learning, and the parents could be cooking. This isn't only for the little kids. This isn't, just for them to come here and have fun. This is really to teach everyone basically about everything for every culture.
Yes, it will be for every culture and different age, because we are planning in the near future to have a senior center. So when we have the elevator, that will be easier. They can be back and, down and up, especially in the cafeteria that you will see later on. That's beautiful. And when we have different age, we also going to have different nationality. For instance, we're going to be teaching also Spanish, but maybe many of you will be interested to learn how to communicate with the basic vocabulary, but at the same time, being here, you're going to be more engaged in what other things we will have available.
Could you talk a little bit about how people can be involved and become involved with the Hazleton Integration Project?
Well, if you're referring to how they can become members of our project, what we're going to do is charge a very small fee for everyone. But I can tell you the small fee is symbolic in nature. It won't be beyond anybody's ability to pay. But even that is going to be subject to something else. We're never going to make a kid or an adult feel bad if they don't have the money. We'll always offer it in such a way, like I can say, well, listen, to join our group is $5. Or you could offer some community service in the building where you spend a couple hours working with us doing something, and we'll create that. So no kid will ever be turned away from this project, from this community center because of a lack of funds, and nor will any adult as we get moving in that direction. Fees will be very low fee or no fee. No fee when we can do it, and very low fees if it becomes necessary to charge something. But again, the focus will never be on the money. It'll be on getting people to participate, getting people involved and engaged, and particularly kids.
As you just heard, there are many hopes and dreams for this building, and those hopes and dreams will become a reality in the near future. Stay with us. Sports is next after the break.
When it comes to the Wire guys, you are going to have an amazing experience. And if it means giving you back your money, plus, I'm going to do it. We guarantee everything. 112% money back guarantee. Labor and material guaranteed for a year. So you don't really need to worry about it. You're going to walk up to the wall, throw the switch, put your power cords in the outlets, and everything is the way it's supposed to be. Call me. Your time is valuable. If we're late, you get paid.
Herco, and I'm running for Luzerne County Controller. A United States Army veteran, I know the meaning of service. Along with a master's degree in accounting, I will bring over 20 years of experience in accounting, auditing, and oversight to office. I'll contain and control spending, communicate issues, and investigate financial irregularities. Please vote Karen Seppa Herco, Luzerne County Controller, because tax dollars should go where expected. After all, it's your money.
The WILN Weather Center brings you precise weather information you need to plan your day. And now you can get the latest weather conditions online anytime at WILNTV.com. Utilizing the latest technology, meteorologist Joe Garbacic brings you the most accurate weather information available, including webcams to view current road conditions and detailed maps of our area. For a full detailed and accurate daily weather report, watch WILN Weather with Joe Garbacic weekdays at 5 and 10 and online anytime at WILNTV.com.
A busy afternoon as several area baseball and softball teams participated in District 2 playoffs. Kicking things off with single A play on the baseball diamond. This was the first year the MMI Preppers came out at an even 500 in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going into the postseason tonight against Wyoming Seminary. It was a quiet first 4.5 innings. No score between the Blue Knights or the Preppers. That is until the bases are loaded and Charlie Karshner comes up to bat for MMI. He knocks in 2 runs to put the Preppers up first in the bottom of the 5th, and it's the bottom of the 6th. Karshner will be at bat again, and he will get a 1-run double. The Preppers, they will go up 4-0. Wyoming Seminary will make a pitching change, but that won't hinder Alec Andes at bat. He will hit the 2-run triple to left field. MMI will win MMI winning 6-0 at this point. Sem will make a small comeback in the top of the 7th, scoring 2 runs, but the Preppers will get the win 7-2. MMI will face Old Forge at Old Forge on Wednesday at 4:30 in the semifinals. In District 2 3A softball, the Dallas Lady Mountaineers visited the Lady Comets of Crestwood in Mountaintop. The Wyoming Valley Conference rivals meeting up once again in the postseason. It was a low-score, high-defense game. Pitcher for the Lady Comets, Alyssa Davies, showing her prowess on the mound, striking out 3 in the first inning. Then on the other side of the ball, Davies will rip one to left field for the single. Pinch hitter in to run for the pitcher on first, but that will go nowhere because the Lady Mounts will then get the double play. Ball off the pop-up hit to shortstop Taylor Kelly. She will catch the Lady Comets off guard, but Crestwood will eventually take the win tonight 2-0. Also in D2 3A, the Lady Bulldogs of Berwick hosting the Wildcats from Western Wayne. Winner of this game will face Crestwood. The Lady Dogs will put 5 runs on the board in the first inning. Going to the bottom of the 4th, bases loaded, Mariah Lynn will sac fly out to short, but Brittany Fisher and Cassandra Dianis will cross the plate. Berwick up 7-0. Then Rachel Carmody on the mound for the Wildcats. She'll toss a wild pitch, allowing Lynn to score a run. Berwick will go up 9-0. And it's going to be another wild pitch by Carmody. Megan Bridge puts the Lady Dogs up 10-0. Then Sarah Berlin will come up to bat, hit the RBI double to left field. Berwick will go on to shut out Western Wayne 12-0 in 5 innings. They will move on to host Crestwood on Wednesday. First pitch set for 4:30. And coming up at the end of the week, Hazelton area standout Russ Kanzler and the Norfolk Tide will visit the Lehigh Valley to face the Iron Pigs at Coca-Cola Park in International League Baseball. Position player for the Tide, Kanzler, has been batting a .289 average and knocked out 7 homers and 28 runs batted in so far this season. That 4-game series will begin Thursday at 7 p.m. and you can watch it right here. The matchups on WYLN, like I said, beginning Thursday at 7 p.m. I will be back with some national sports headlines and find out if the Baby Pens are still alive against Providence. That's all coming up in the second half, but first, Lisa's coming back next. Stay tuned.
The
friendly people at Patrick Quick at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton for decades has been your first stop for lottery tickets, munchies, and soda. Now Patrick Quick is your first stop for 6-packs of your favorite beer. All the domestic name brands such as Budweiser, Coors Light, and Miller Lite, Landshark, and Yuengling. Patrick Quick also carries a large variety of imports and craft beers. Stop in today to Patrick Quick, now carrying all your favorite beers at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. One of the big problems plaguing northeastern Pennsylvania is meth labs, but the vigilance of the community can help spot and prevent them, and even bust them. Berwick's Chief of Police and its narcotics officer join me this week on The Storm, and we'll all learn ways to help fight crime. This week only on WYLN.
Recapping tonight's top story, today marks the start of National EMS Week. Late Edition's Ann Gownley reports.
They are the men and women who respond to emergencies to help save your life or your family's. And all this week, they are being honored. Across the country, it is National EMS Week. We stopped by APTS in Hazleton, where employees we spoke with say this week is very special to them and their families.
It's an important week for the emergency responders, not only for everyone here at APTS, but all the volunteers throughout the region that we deal with, and all the work that they do, all the sacrifices that they give, not only when they come in to punch in and work long hours here, but leaving their families when they're going out on volunteer calls. It's a big week just to recognize them and say thank you back.
The nice thing with this week is, for years, I've been doing this for 28 years, and EMS used to kind of not be recognized until somebody calls for an ambulance and they say, well, what took you so long to get here? And it would only take a minute or two to get there. So it's nice that we're getting some recognition for the hard work and the training hours that people don't see. It's just nice to get recognized for what we do.
On Thursday, employees will be treated to a luncheon where all week they can win prizes. Gant says they try to give back to their employees as much as they can for all they give to the greater Hazleton area and the surrounding communities.
If you see somebody throughout the week that's in an ambulance, just say, hey, thank you for what you do, because it really means a lot to them when someone thanks them.
Tomorrow, APTS will celebrate EMS Week with the community in a free event at the Laurel Mall in the old FYE store near JCPenney's from 9 until noon. The event is called Lend a Hand, Save a Life. It is made possible through the Department of Health, the American Heart Association, and the Heart Rescue Project. Gantz and Boyle hope to reach out to as many people as they can.
The idea is to teach people that they can actually help someone with just doing hands-only CPR, not having to worry about breaths. And it works the best if it's a witnessed sudden cardiac arrest, obviously. But at least they're giving care immediately until EMS can get there and take over the care from there.
Being able to do the compressions and getting the blood to circulate, that also will help enhance what the AED can do, because the AED only corrects any electrical activity that's improper in the heart. It doesn't do anything with circulating, where the hands-only CPR will at least get that blood that does have oxygen in circulating until an EMS unit can arrive.
You will not be certified in CPR after this event, but will be filled in on lots of information on how to help someone who is in cardiac arrest. Gantz and Boyle tell us that if your business is interested in bringing the program to your office, you can give them a call at APTS at 459-6622. In Hazleton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann, and that is a look at tonight's top story recap. When we come back, we'll take you to a very special book signing in Mahanoy City. Plus, Beth is back in with the second half of sports.
And we're going to start to crank up the temperatures once again heading into tomorrow. How high will the mercury go? I'll let you know in just a few.
I'm Kathy Dobash. I'm running for Luzerne County Council. I will not vote to raise taxes. I will demand the county manager lives within a budget. I will insist that our government employees share the cost of their health care. And I promise to work to improve transparency in county government by ensuring that members of council follow the Sunshine Law. Vote Kathy Dobash, Luzerne County Council. Together, let's make our county better.
for a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
And we've got just the dealer.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer.
Fairway Subaru.
Yeah.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Join us this week on Women's Day. Our topic is cancer treatment options. We'll be joined by Dr. Sang of the Cancer Treatment Center in Hazleton. He's going to tell you about some revolutionary new treatments available right here in Hazleton. Later in the show, Debbie Shandrick is going to tell you how you can look good and feel better even if you're battling cancer. Chris is away on vacation. Deb's going to give you some great makeup tips. We're going to tell you who's going to the Lazy Dog, who's been caught doing good, and of course we'll have great giveaways. It's all coming up this week on Women Today. Join us.
Welcome back. One area community is celebrating a major milestone. And just in time for that celebration, a new book has been printed that depicts days gone by. Gary Perna reports.
Some say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a book full of pictures could leave some speechless. Mahanoy Area Revisited is that book. The 5 authors gathered Friday night for a book signing at the Mahanoy City Elks. Mary Lou Henniger is the vice president of the society and one of those 5 authors.
And I think we did this because we all as a group feel a very strong heritage to this community, and it's the community of our youth. And good things happened here in this community, and we really wanted to honor our parents, our grandparents, all the people that came before us.
The 6 chapter titles of the book are unique, according to Henniger.
The chapters are all named after songs, and I think within those chapters we cover the music of the era, certainly with the wars. There's a wonderful war chapter. One chapter is called East Side, West Side, which covers the town. I think that anyone who purchases this book will find something they remember.
The book only covers the second 50 years of the borough.
We've done 2 Mahanoy Area Historical Society books, one from 1863, when we began, and until 1913, which was the first 50 years. This book covers from 1913 to 1963, the next 50 years. And the process was a lengthy one. We've talked about doing a book for a couple of years since we did the first one. But I think it was Elaine who thought we should do it for our 150th anniversary. And as we started, we only had 1 or 2 people who were willing to author, and we didn't have chapters or ideas from the beginning. So we just laid it out very simply, like town, sports, the war.
Paul Coombs is a secretary and room manager of the society. He also is one of the authors. He focused his chapter on sports in the small coal mining town.
I found out a lot about sports in Mahanoy City that I didn't know, despite the fact that I've been connected with town one way or the other my whole life. We've had Major League Baseball players here. We've had general managers of pro basketball teams. We've had boys that went on from our high schools to play in major bowl games. And we've had state champions, and it was fun researching all of that.
Mahanoy City was home to Joe Dungan, who played for the Yankees from 1917 to 1931. Joe Boyle played for the Philadelphia Athletics from 1927 to 1929. And Jack Quinn also played for the Philadelphia Athletics. He started his career in 1909 as a pitcher. He played with fellow native Joe Boyle in the 1929 World Series. Quinn is still the oldest pitcher ever to hit a major league homer at the age of 46. Elaine Mack Lucius was the biggest driving force behind doing a second book.
We did have a lot of preliminary work done. We went through boxes that we had, and we thought we were going to find a treasure trove of pictures, but we did not. We had to scour and ask for pictures from the community. There are about 67 individuals or organizations that provided the 240 photos that we received. But it was a work of love, and we did have deadlines.
Alvin Lucius was the author behind Over There, the chapter that focused on the wars.
Well, what we did was we researched what citizens of Mahanoy City contributed to the First World War, to the Second World War, and to the Korean War. And the problem that we had was there were so many participants, especially in World War I and World War II. It was unfortunate that we couldn't cover everyone, and that was the sad part about it, because the sacrifices that these individuals made, men and women, were so great across the board.
I asked every author if they had a favorite photo or story from the book.
Well, one of the things I think that was the most interesting was for all of us, we learned so much about our history, and just the discovery of the history of the area kept us on our toes and entertained us. We had a lot of really good times reminiscing about our youth here. One photo, no, I think the whole book is just a great conglomeration of our history.
One of my favorites is in an old bar room in Mahanoy City, which typically in a neighborhood, here were the men with their violin, their accordion, their washboard, sitting around singing songs, a lot of it in their native tongue. So a simple picture, but something that really meant a lot to me.
Favorite story actually belongs in the war chapter. There was a young high school student by the name of Jerome Semitovich, and he belonged to the Mahanoy City Air Corps. It was a group of model airplane buffs, and they used to fly their planes at the West End Stadium. After high school, Jerome enlisted in the Air Force and ended up at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7th, 1941, and he was killed in the air raid on Pearl Harbor. So I thought it was kind of poignant that he started his interest in airplanes in Mahanoy City and ended up in Hawaii and ended up being the first casualty.
So doing the chapter on churches and schools and delving into the history of my own parish, St. Joe's, and seeing that Lithuanian community was something that really was dear to me.
Sergeant Messerschmitt, he was with the 3rd Division. The 3rd Division has a history of having a lot of people from the coal regions in it. It was involved in the North Africa campaign. It was involved in the Sicily campaign. It was involved in France. Messerschmitt joined the outfit in Italy in 1943 and single-handedly fought a battle with a large German force and eventually was killed, and he received the Medal of Honor.
The book can be ordered by heading to the Historical Society's website at mahanoyhistory.org. In Mahanoy City, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thanks, Gary. Looks like a wonderful book. When we come back, Beth is in with the second half of sports, and Joe recaps that warm forecast. Stay with us.
Vote for my mom, Michelle Benner, for county controller, or you chose the wrong choice.
Michelle Bednar is uniquely qualified for the job of Luzerne County Controller with 25 years of accounting experience and years of public service as a tax collector. Michelle favors an honest, transparent, and efficient form of government. And she's a dedicated wife and mom. Just ask her son, Kyler.
I'm Kyler Bednar, and I approve this message.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all-vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Valley Pets is having a Faithful Friends yard sale Saturday and Sunday, May 25th and 26th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Donations are welcome. Table rentals are $25 for both days, and all proceeds are donated to the local animal shelters and the SPCA. That's the Faithful Friends yard sale at Valley Pets, Route 93 in Cybersville. For more information, call Valley Pets at 570-788-9889.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WILN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WILN TV 35. See the Major League Stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WILN TV 35. Visit WILNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WILN, your home for live sports.
NFL draft might have a new date and time, possibly moving to May. The NFL and the Players Association are on the verge of pushing it back to May and moving up the start of the league year. The NFLPA is reportedly close to agreeing to moving it from April, at least for the next 3 years. Under the current collective bargaining agreement, Commissioner Roger Goodell can set the draft without the NFLPA's approval, though he says he'd rather have it. Former NFL wide receiver Chad Johnson, or Ocho Cinco if you prefer, has been arrested on charges he violated probation stemming from an altercation with his now ex-wife, reality star Evelyn Lozada. A judge ordered Johnson jailed today until he posts a $1,000 bond. An arrest warrant was issued earlier this month when he failed to meet his probation officer. He is on a year's probation after Lozada said he headbutted her during an argument last August. Seattle Seahawks defensive end Bruce Irvin has been suspended the first 4 games of the 2013 season for violating the policy on performance-enhancing drugs. Irvin was the Seahawks' first-round draft pick in 2012. He is the latest Seahawk to run afoul of the league's policies on banned substances. Since 2011, 5 Seahawks, John Moffitt, Alan Barber, Winston Guy, Brandon Browner, and Irvin, have received 4-game suspensions. Barber was later released. Celtics player Terrence Williams was arrested Sunday in suburban Seattle and charged with brandishing a gun at the mother of his 10-year-old son. He was charged with an assault charge. Police say the woman called about 1 p.m. Sunday and said she had been threatened with a gun. Williams was later arrested. No one was hurt. Police are withholding details while the case is under investigation. The Mets have signed pitcher David Aardsma. He's been released by the Yankees in early April and opted out of a minor league deal with Miami last week. The Mets deal is also minor league, and he's been assigned to AAA. The Mets are Aardsma's 4th organization since 2011. He has thrown just 1 inning in the big league since saving 31 games for the Mariners in 2010. And Hideki Okajima, who caused a bit of a stir with the Red Sox several years ago, is back in the majors. He signed with the Oakland A's. His Japanese team, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, released him so he could sign with Oakland. The A's outright reliever Chris Resop to AAA
to make room for him. Now let's check out tonight's scoreboard. Let's begin with the Calder Cup playoffs. The Baby Pens winning 2 games in a row to come back in the series that they trail 3-2 against the Providence Bruins. Tonight they are back in Providence hoping to force Game 7, and they did in overtime. That final score, 2-1. On the NHL ice tonight, the series between Chicago and Detroit tied at 1's Red Wings go up and win 3-1. Checking out the Eastern League scores tonight, Reading over Altoona, Harrisburg over Erie, and in 12 innings, Bowie has the lead 4-3 on Akron. In the International League, Iron Pigs big over Rochester. In 10 innings, the Rail Riders fell to the Clippers 6-5. And now let's check out the majors. The Indians win over the Mariners in 10. Blue Jays beat the Rays 7-5. Yankees win in 10 innings 6-4. Oakland is up right now 5-2. Red Sox are trailing the White Sox 6-4 bottom of the 8th. Houston up on the Royals. The Twins fell to the Braves. The Mets are trailing the Reds. And the Phillies, with a bunch of people out on the DL, they lose 5-1 to the Marlins. Dodgers win 3-1. D-backs blanking the Rockies into the 5th inning. San Diego a quick lead on the Cards, and there is no score yet between the Nationals and the Giants. Joe Grabachik's coming back. Stick around.
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital, as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
Sitting in at 65, a mild night in store for all of our area. Right through the overnight hours, humidity at 100%. So again, there could be some areas of fog out there through the overnight hours. So if you have to do any type of traveling, be careful. Now, we've not seen any rainfall, at least here, since the midnight hour. Pressure coming in at 29.94 inches of mercury. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Nothing to show you on the statewide version. Even though you see some blips of green, doesn't mean anything because nothing is falling. Those are just some false echoes. It continues to be mild across much of the nation. But if you take a look at Las Vegas, Phoenix, Arizona, they've been sizzling and they continue to sizzle with temperatures in the 80s and even 90s as I speak. All right, temperature-wise across our area right now, 71 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 66 in Mount Pocono, 74 in Williamsport, 67 degrees in Selinsgrove. Overall, not looking too bad, and up in the Wyoming Valley area, not looking too bad either, with temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s, with winds continuing to be relatively light. Satellite and radar, again, all that is just ground clutter. We have nothing to worry about. We're going to be in pretty good shape through the overnight hours. Skycast precipitation and clouds. Again, heading into tomorrow, shower or thunderstorm or two around definitely cannot be ruled out. Same holds true as we go into our Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday. But very, very warm air for tomorrow. Going to feel more summer-like, and then some scattered showers or a thunderstorm or two around over the next couple of days. But again, I'm not expecting washouts, but keep the umbrella handy to be on the safe side. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect over the next couple of days. Temperatures in the 80s, tack on a couple of degrees in normally milder locations, and then cooler as we start going into the ending part of the weekend, ending into the weekend. So, 5 o'clock. I know a lot of people are watching, and it was an exciting day today, as we had all kinds of problems. My weather stuff was kerplooey. So this was my version of what was going to happen for tomorrow, and this was Julie Stefanovich's.
Look at how pretty that is.
And yeah, mine, hers.
Good job, Julie. We're going to do away with all your weather set. Julie's going to draw everything from
Just
now
did
on.
not have much of a choice. We had to start drawing stuff.
We had a little fire. The fire trucks
slapstick
were here.
comedy and from L.A. and
Power went
Oh,
out after the fire. They had an ad lib. It was fun.
we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Oh, hopefully not all that bad stuff.
Good night.